Hi everybody, it's Andrew Hutchins with you here again tonight. Still not a doctor, still probably more smart than 99% of the doctors out there. And I'm not joking, I'm actually very serious. Although maybe it's 98 or 97. No matter how you slice it though, I'm smarter than most of them. But I'm not a doctor, so don't take my advice. Listen to your idiot doctors. If you go in with swollen legs or something, and they put you on a diuretic, and probably they're smart and they just figure you just have swollen legs for no reason. So the topic of this video is commonly overlooked signs of alcoholic body damage. And I say body damage because it's mostly liver damage, but there is other damage that it does. But in part, let's start on the liver. So you've probably always heard that if you have liver damage, the white of your eyes will turn yellow. Well, that can happen, but guess what? You can die of liver failure and never have yellow eyes. Maybe, as you're literally dying from it, like the very hour or minutes that you're dying from it, maybe it'll be yellow. But the day before that, nope, not gonna have to be yellow. Maybe it is. Doesn't need to be. Your skin too. It's not necessarily gonna turn yellow. But you know what else might happen? Long before you're dead? Hopefully long before, because if it's not long before, then you don't have much time to fix it and you're more likely to die. But some other things that perhaps are even more common than yellowing of, it's called jaundice, but yellowing of the whites of the eyes and the skin. You see my hands. Do you notice that like you go from the nail to the finger and it's flat? Guess what happens as you drink too much alcohol and you get liver failure? This part, you see the part right after the nail? It will become raised up and it will be inflamed. I was about to say it would seem inflamed. Well, the thing is, it is inflamed, but it's not inflamed because of some other, whatever reason you may have thought. Well, I mean, maybe it is, but often, especially if you are a drinker, if that part of your finger after your nails gets raised and it's itchy, red, inflamed, not a good sign. You better ease off the alcohol, get a liver test. Even if the liver test says your liver's all good, chances are it's not. You can have liver damage without super high liver enzymes. Believe it or not, they're not the same thing. And you can have really high liver enzymes without having liver damage. You can have cirrhosis of the liver without having high enzymes. You can have high enzymes without cirrhosis of the liver. Not everything is completely straightforward and super easy. So the other thing, and this means you're in real trouble when this is happening, like stop drinking ASAP, get to the doctor today, is your feet will become swollen. And so even though that's like you gotta get to the doctor ASAP, if that spreads to your lower leg, yikes. I mean, start pounding the water and get to the doctor. And make sure you tell the doctor that you think you have liver failure because your legs are filling up with fluid. Because believe it or not, doctors aren't smart enough to put two and two together and go, oh, well, swollen legs with fluid. Let's just say you're a normal person, not some practically dying, gigantic, obese person. And I don't mean you're practically dying because you're gigantic and obese. I mean, you're practically dying and you're gigantic and obese and you never move and all sorts of things. You have diabetes, all sorts of things. Now, if your legs are swollen in that scenario, well, probably it's those other health ailments. Maybe the diabetes, maybe the excessive weight, maybe the never moving. But if you're an otherwise healthy person and your legs are swollen with water, unless you just shot a bunch of testosterone or took a bunch of Dianabol and it converted to a ton of estrogen, and now you're retaining a ton of water, Unless you did that, and you're retaining water everywhere, and actually you still may have liver damage, and maybe the retaining water everywhere is masking the fact that it's also just going on in your legs from the liver parts. But if you're not doing something that would cause water retention into your feet, or even worse, your lower legs, or even worse, your upper legs, or even worse, all the way up to here, is full of fluid, you are in big, big trouble. And if your doctor prescribes you a diuretic, go to a different doctor. I mean, if he prescribes you a diuretic and tells you to try it out, see how things go. What your doctor really should do is give you blood work ASAP, probably get you to a hospital. Now, hopefully going to the hospital would be overkill. Hopefully. But not necessarily. So if your liver is failing, and this doesn't happen in 100% of people who die of liver failure, just as the jaundice does not happen in everybody. But for some reason, everyone only knows of jaundice, including doctors, and it's ridiculously stupid. But it will start in your feet, and fluid will slowly pool from your feet to your ankles, to your lower leg. It's going to reach the knee. That's not going to be fun. That's going to be painful. It will make its way up your legs until your stomach starts filling with fluid. That's called ascites. I mean, if you've made it up to here with fluid, you are in big, big trouble. Luckily, the liver has remarkable healing capabilities, and there's still a chance you could live and recover. Now, if you've made it to the state where you have fluid all the way up to here, the ascites, and I'm not a doctor, I would highly recommend you never drink any alcohol again in the rest of your life. Unless it happened when you're 20 years old, then you go sober for 20 more years, and it seems like your liver's all good, in which case I still wouldn't recommend drinking alcohol. But if you've given your liver 20, 30 years to heal, hopefully it's good by then, because the liver does have remarkable healing capabilities. Remember, I just said 20 to 30 years. I didn't say 2 to 3 months, not 2 to 3 weeks, not a few days, not a couple years. I mean, hopefully you never get to the point where you're retaining fluid there. Hopefully if you notice puffy feet, you get your liver tests, even if the liver comes back okay. If you don't have some other reason for your feet to be puffy, and you drink a decent amount of alcohol, a little more than you should, maybe a lot more than you should, you better lay off it for a little while and see if that goes down. And just because it goes down doesn't mean start drinking again. It means let it be down for a while. Maybe don't drink much at all, like don't drink at all, or maybe have just one drink once in a while for a couple of years. And I would also recommend CoQ10, ubiquinol, ubiquinone, whatever you want to get. It has been shown to accelerate the healing of the liver, especially in relation to alcoholic liver damage. It's been shown 100 milligrams, I think once or twice a day is sufficient. Personally, I'd rather take more. That's just me. It is expensive, and if 100, 200 milligrams is sufficient, why not go with that? There are other things out there that could be beneficial for your liver. How well they've been documented and shown objectively to work, who knows? I mean, they haven't, a lot of them. Doesn't mean they don't work, it just means that they have not gone through proper medical studies. Yeah. So look out for this part of your finger becoming raised, red, and inflamed, itchy, painful. Look out for foot pain. It may be due to the swelling of the feet, which you really need to be looking out for, especially if the swelling spreads to your legs and works its way up your legs into your abdomen. Or the foot pain may be due to nerve damage, because alcohol also causes nerve damage. Now, don't take this as an excuse, Don't take it as an excuse, but it's a good idea if you're a heavy drinker to supplement with vitamin B1 and folic acid because alcohol inhibits their absorption. But having said that, I hope you caught on to the fact that I just said alcohol inhibits their absorption, which means even if you're taking it extra, it's still not getting absorbed very well. But at least if, let's just say 1% of this much is getting absorbed, if you have this much and it's only 1% getting absorbed, at least you got a bigger amount. Doesn't mean you're getting enough. Maybe none is getting absorbed. That's unlikely, but what I'm saying is that even if you're supplementing with it, you may not be getting enough and you may still be getting nerve damage. And there are other mechanisms of alcohol's nerve damage besides inhibiting the folic acid and vitamin B1. And actually, I don't remember if they're both even completely super important, but yeah, they're both important. I don't remember which one's the most important. I mean, I know all this stuff, but it's not like I think about it every second of every day. I decided this is important, good information to get out there, because doctors, for some reason, are words I'm not gonna say because I don't want the video to have problems, and they are just brainless most of the time. May as well blow out their brains because they don't work. I'm not saying to kill doctors, don't kill doctors. I'm gonna probably be a doctor someday, but I'll be a good doctor, not like these morons that just take people's money, waste their time, and let them die because they don't help them, they don't realize what's going on. Or maybe they even help the person die because they screw up their health. Or maybe they literally give them medications that immediately make them die. But one way or another, a lot of doctors aren't helping people, and they're in fact making people worse. Because guess what happens if your liver is failing, your legs are already full of water, you've already got this going on, it's called clubbing of the fingers, by the way. So you've already got edema, the fluid, maybe it's progressed to ascites. I mean, doctors are, I'm not gonna say smart enough because you don't have to be smart at this point, but typically if it's all the way to ascites, doctors realize that your liver's failing. But for some reason, if it hasn't gotten that bad to where you're like gonna die in the next month or day or week, and it's really close to being irreversible, for some reason, unless it gets super, super, super bad to that point, they don't catch on to the fact that your liver is failing. They don't even think to test your liver a lot of the time. I believe that we got to get rid of all these moron doctors and only allow good doctors, people that actually have an interest in medicine, who naturally learn all these things, not just people who pass exams. But of course, I'm not in charge of our medical system. Maybe I should be. Maybe you should somehow vote me into it. If you like this advice, please like and subscribe, and check out my Instagram, natural_true_fitness, where you can check out my photos of me looking good and muscular. And you can also hire me for health advice, fitness advice, supplement advice, diet advice, whatever kind of advice. Or just bounce a question off me. I have to say that you should bounce it off your doctor if it's health advice, but it doesn't mean that it's not also good to bounce it off me. Maybe bring what I say to your doctor. Hopefully he's not an a-hole and gets annoyed that you brought intelligent information to him. And you should probably try to find a different doctor, but I know it's really hard. I've had a lot of problems with doctors in my life. Shocking, I still want to be one. People ask me all the time, Andrew, you hate doctors. Why do you want to be a doctor? Well, because I want to be a good doctor. I do hate most doctors. And for that reason, I need to be an actual good doctor. Because the world needs doctors like me, not like them. I have a lot I could say about them. So yeah, watch out for clubbing of the fingers. Watch out for edema in the feet, spreading up to the legs, even if it could go all the way to ascites. Yeah, watch out for Jodens also, but just because you don't have Jodens doesn't mean your liver's not failing. Take it safe, be healthy, and hire me for whatever if you want to.